Hi everyone, welcome back to SlipTwpKnit. My name is Shelby and I come to you from Shelby Township, Michigan, which is where I do my knitting. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for giving me a chance. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thanks for coming back. Anyway, again, if you're new, just a little bit of background. I do this in every video, but just for the newbies. My name is Shelby, like I said. I'm from Shelby Township, and I'm Shelby from the Twipp on most things. So the local nickname for Shelby Township is Shelby Twp or the Twipp. So being that I'm Shelby from Shelby Twp, I'm Shelby from the Twipp everywhere else, as I kind of alluded to that a minute ago. And then I mashed that up with the decreased stitch and knitting slip knit, so that's how we got the term SlipTwpKnit. This is, I think, episode 19, which is pretty crazy. I don't think I'm at episode 20 yet. I feel like I should make something really crazy and momentous for that occasion, even though I am neither crazy nor momentous. So it's probably just going to be a regular episode. Kind of like this one. This one is going to be a regular episode. And I actually I was really psyched up to record and stuff today, and I had planned everything out. I had gotten everything ready so I could record on my lunch break, and then no. It's just been a crazy day at work, and it's not even, it's noon. It's noon and it's crazy. So yeah, the day I'm having at work, I was like really psyched and I was like excited to talk, and now work has taken all the talk out of me. So anyway, regardless, that's all. I'm not talking about work anymore. It's my lunch break. I don't have to talk about work. So what am I here to talk about though? I'm here to talk about knitting. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry about every sigh that is going to come out of my mouth during this episode. Anyway, so as far as knitting goes, I don't have any finished objects. And I got two of the same three projects that you've kind of been seeing in the last couple episodes. Reason for that is I just really want to knock them out so I can, you know, knock out the things I'm currently working on, and so I can focus on working on something else. So that's where my mind is at with these right now. So I'll start with the AFO because this is an almost finished object. I am so close to being done with this project that it should be done. It really should be done, but it's not. It'll be done by the next episode. It'll be a faux. It'll be an FO next time. So I will talk about these. These are my vintage fairy lights socks. This is a pattern by Helen Stewart. She goes by Curious Handmade as well, on both Ravelry and on Instagram. And this is a pretty popular pattern of hers from what I understand. I saw it and I thought it was super cute. It was one of her Advent patterns from a couple years ago. So this is it. This is the knitting. This is like the stitch pattern. So it's got a little bit of these aren't quite bobbles, and I don't think the camera actually shows how nice that knitting pattern is. It doesn't show how cute these little fairy lights are on this pattern, but they are super cute. And so this was the sock I've already completed. I am knitting these on a US 0, and the yarn I'm using is Cornbread and Honey, and it's her color Gingerbread House. And pretty, I mean, it's a nice pattern. It's a nice pattern. It's a nice yarn. This is the sock I've already finished, and instead of using, I don't have any stitch mark, like I have progress keepers, but I don't have that many progress keepers, so I'm just tying in ends of yarn every 5 or 10 rows, just tying in knots, and that's how I'm keeping track. And then This is sock number 2. And so the heel's already been turned and I'm on the foot. I probably have about 10 rows before I can start the toe. So I think what I'm gonna do this week is, on my remaining lunch breaks this week, I'll just put in some knitting time and then I'll finish this up. But I'm not too worried about it. This is a pair of socks I've been working on since the beginning of quarantine. Quarantine messed everything up because I had to rip out like every single pair of socks I worked on, is what I'm realizing now. Because this first sock, I had to rip it out. I probably ripped it out twice, and it probably worked the third time. But at that point, I remember we were watching Homeland at the beginning of quarantine because everything was free, so Showtime was free and we were watching Homeland. And I just remember like knitting, and like I would get to like the first part here and I'd have to rip back because I made a mistake. So, and then at one point I was working on these so diligently and having to rip them out and start them over again, my hands would cramp up really bad. So I think that's partly why these have taken me so long, is because I have bad memories associated with how much these hurt my hands at the start of quarantine. But they live in my Christmas bag, and they're almost done. They're almost done, which means not only are they going to be done soon, it means I will have a pair of Christmassy socks that I will be wearing year round. If I was better at video editing, I would probably have a sigh counter like right here, and I'd be counting how many sighs I sigh in this video. So my next project, which is I have a half finished object, yay, and now it's, my yarn is caught in my progress keeper. Anyway, I have a half finished object. I finished the first Thornfield sock for my friend Tony, and I don't know if this is actually where I was in my last episode. This might be where I was the episode before. I just had to finish the foot. This is the Thornfield sock by Rachel Coopy, and this is the second time I've knit this sock. If you're talking about this sock specifically, it's the 4th or 5th time I've worked on the sock because I had to rip it out a lot. So anyway, I finished the first sock. I haven't cast on the second sock. I literally just grafted the toe on my lunch break yesterday. So this is new. This is a new half finished object. So I'm gonna finish these, and then I'm gonna cast on sock number 2. So I've knit this sock before. I made a pair for my mom for Christmas last year. I say this in every episode. You guys probably get tired of hearing me say the same stuff. But anyway, knit these for my mom for Christmas last year in a different color, in a different yarn. This yarn is Berroco Ultra Wool Fine. It's a nice wool. I kind of like it. It's super wash, but if you look, can you kind of see the texture of this yarn? It's kind of, it feels like a woolly wool, even though it's super wash, which is really nice. Because it is a gift. Why is my face so bright? Jeez. But anyway, because this is a gift, I try to give my gifts in, you know, I try to use yarn that's super wash when I'm knitting a gift, because not everybody is going to be as, I hand wash my socks, but I know that the people I'm making these gifts for might not necessarily do the same. But again, I like this yarn. This is a color called Rosemary. I really like this color. I want to see if I can work on something in this color for myself. Not a whole lot. I followed the pattern for this using a cable. I have mixed feelings about cables. I think when I first start using when I first start doing cables, I hate them, but as time goes by, I like them a little more. So this is the Thornfield sock, and it's halfway done, and I'm so happy. And I can take this progress keeper off and I can put it on the next one, or not, because I haven't even started the next one. But yay. I'm really excited that I actually feel like I've made some progress, because it's been slow going the last however long this has been going on. I mean, what, since mid-March? I've been working on the same projects pretty much in perpetuity. And that's okay. I'm not mad. I'm impatient for the first time in my life. I'm a super patient person, but I am impatient to get these projects off the needles, which I think is partly why I had to rip out that Thornfield sock a bunch the first time when I first started it, because I just kind of wanted to power through. But, well, and also I was on a deadline because it was Tony's birthday present, and Tony's birthday has since passed. So Tony, I hope you like socks for Christmas. Okay, I am wearing something I knit previously, FYI. As this is no surprise, I really like knitting socks, so that's most of what I am working on. I got a couple things I know I need to still work on, like I got 2 sweaters that live in that corner behind me, and I have one that is almost done. I should really just, maybe that should be episode 20. Maybe I should not record or upload episode 20 until my stupid love, I mean, it's not a stupid, it is stupid. I think it's stupid because it's mostly because I'm stupid and I've let it go on for this long. Once my love note is finished, maybe that's when I will record and upload episode 20. Maybe, I don't know. It's actually, you know what I'm realizing is I think it's been about a year since I started my podcast. So I'm gonna have to look at that too. I started it in August of last year though, I think. So I might have to address that in episode 22. What happened at the podcast anniversary? That's really it for knitting talk. I'll try and ramble on a little bit more for those of you who want to stick around, but if you don't want to stick around, that's fine. My feelings won't be hurt. I have been thinking about what I wanted to talk about and I didn't write any of it down, and now that I'm recording, everything has flown out of my head. Every word, every thought, everything I wanted to talk about has just evaporated into thin air. So, couple life updates, I guess. Not really life updates. I mean, I guess it is a life update because life is this right now. I did apply to take some PTO at work and it was approved. So that's good. What the hell is wrong with this light? I have to record in daylight because the yellow light is too harsh. My yellow artificial lighting is too harsh. And then during daylight, this happens. But anyway, it is what it is. So I did apply for some PTO and it was approved. So that's exciting. I'm going to just kind of take a little long weekend. Just take a Monday and a Tuesday in addition to Sunday and to Saturday. So just an extra 2 days. That's coming up. I've been really reluctant to take PTO this year in general. One, because we didn't know what was going on. Like, we were supposed to go to Disney in May. That didn't happen, which is fine. So we didn't go to Disney. That was gonna take up a few days, not a lot of days, but a few days. And then it's just, PTO's been a mess this year, and I think, like many people, I'm not the only person whose PTO needs to be used. is what I'm telling myself at the very least. But maybe some people have been better about taking PTO. Taking PTO is just kind of stressful, I think, because, you know, it would have been smart. I should have been smarter because my numbers at work were as low as they'd ever been a couple weeks ago. And with low numbers and not having as much to do, it would have been like really good because I could have taken my time off, not really worried. My team wouldn't have had to like worry about checking up on my stuff. They could have just done, you know, whatever they could, but not, you know, it wouldn't have required a ton of attention. My numbers are still low, but they are going up. And with taking PTO, I always I'm gonna try and knock as much out as possible before I go, because I just don't want my team to worry about having to deal with my stuff on top of their own, you know? So that's what I'm doing. Well, that's not what I'm doing. I'm taking PTO. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing that I am fully aware of. I am hoping to have craft day in there somewhere. I would like to just make a mess and do crafts. I also have it on my list to go to Trader Joe's, because I figure if I'm taking a Monday and a Tuesday, those are weekdays, people, the world might be crazy, but people still gotta work. People are still hopefully not gonna be at Trader Joe's when I roll up, is what I'm saying. Because last time I went to Trader Joe's, I did go out there a while back, but the line was wrapped around the building. And I said, I know what I'm like when I go to Trader Joe's, because I have to walk down every aisle. I have to look at every shelf. I just have to enjoy my time there because I love Trader Joe's. It's a magical, wonderful place. So I didn't go in because I didn't want to wait in line, because I knew that there were probably going to be 5 to 10 other people in that line who were just like me and have to take their time in Trader Joe's. So I didn't go in. I don't even have plans to buy anything at Trader Joe's. I don't even know what they have in there, but I'm just so excited to go to Trader Joe's because that's one of the things I've missed the most for some reason during COVID. So that's what I'm gonna do. I might buy candy. They always have good candy at Trader Joe's. But maybe I shouldn't buy candy because I do love candy. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hoping to have, like I said, I'm hoping to have a craft day so I can, I'm probably just gonna sit and knit. Like, let's be real. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit and knit the way I do on pretty much every single one of my days off. Even, I mean, I say that, but I don't have a whole lot to show for it, do I? So I took some PTO. I'm trying to adjust my routines and like get back, kind of get back into any routines that I lost, because let me tell you, my routine was an early casualty of this working from home thing. It went right out the window. It did not survive. So I'm trying to get back into that routine. Like, it's nice being back in the office. I think my company has handled going back into the office pretty well. For those of us who want to go back, I think I like the way that we're handling it. You know, we have rules, and we have, you know, we have an app that we use, so it tells you, like, you got to fill it out. You do a questionnaire every single time you go into the office, so it's not just a once a week thing, it's an everyday thing if you're going into the office. So that's been really good. It's really easy to use, and it just kind of tells you, oh, hey, you filled out the questionnaire with these answers, you're eligible to go in, or you're not eligible to go in. That's been really good. And then, so that's been nice. It's, like I said, it's been really great to have my commute back. Or maybe I didn't say that. It's really great to have my commute back. And just in the scheme of things too, trying to get back into a routine, trying to reestablish habits. In the beginning of quarantine, one habit that I had that really went away was exercising. You know, it's for me, I had to go to the gym to exercise. I have a hard time exercising at home because I don't have a coach or a trainer standing there to make fun of me, or ridicule me, or make me, or shame me into using a heavier weight. Also, I find exercising to be incredibly boring, but I know I have to do it. I know that it's good for my heart to get in that cardio. I know that it's good for my bones to do that weight-bearing exercise. So, I've actually been pretty good about it in general. But, you know, trying to commit to getting 30 minutes of exercise in every day, whether that be, you know, just going for a walk or doing a combination of cardio and strength training in my basement. So that's actually been pretty good. I have not been very good about stretching post-exercise though. So I have added that to my habit tracker because I had to have a habit tracker in order to keep myself accountable. But it's just, when I'm done, I'm already so bored. I'm already so bored. I complete my exercises. The way I handle my exercises is before I go down to exercise, I write down, I always do some sort of cardio, which is the treadmill, if I'm in the basement or I go outside and take a walk or whatever, you know. But for the weight training portion, because I find weight training to be like, it's the worst. I hate it. I like cardio so much more than the weight training, which I know for a lot of people it's the opposite. A lot of people like the weight training and they don't really like the cardio. I like the cardio. I can't stand weight training. It gets so boring. But what I do before I go do that is I set an intention before I start exercising, and I write down 4 to 5 exercises that I'm going to do. I write down how many reps I'm going to do, and then I write down how many rounds of those exercises I'm going to do. So generally, you know, oh hey, I'm going to do deadlifts and I'm going to do 15 reps and I'm going to do 4 rounds of that. You know, so that's the way I've been handling it, and I think it keeps me accountable. It keeps me accountable because in the scheme of things, I know it's not a lot of exercise, and that's kind of what I tell myself. Like, why are you struggling to do this little exercise? Because you don't have to do that much of it. And, you know, you're only doing 4 or 5 exercises and 3 or 4 rounds of these exercises. So it's not going to take you as long as you think. I realize that you're bored out of your mind when you're doing it, but at least it's just a little bit of work. You're doing a little bit, that's fine. A little, like every little bit counts, I guess, in terms of that, because like I said, I get so bored. I get really, really, really bored when I exercise. There are so many things I would rather be doing than exercise. I can probably name 10 things. When I'm doing exercise, I can probably name at least 10 to 15 other things I would rather be doing. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not worried about things like my water intake because I'm pretty good about drinking water. Pretty good about eating normally. I have a sugar problem. I really do like sugar a lot. I'm trying to keep track of my sugar intake and not eat a lot of, you know, it's really hard. I like cookies. I don't mind. I realize there are other ways to get sugar. I realize there's sugar in almost everything we eat. But I like cookies. And that's been hard. But it is what it is. I don't really have anything to talk about because I didn't write anything down. I really need to change that. I also need to change my intonation because I realize I have a monotone. Why do you guys watch me? Yeah, like really, like why? I'm trying to figure out what the next book I'm gonna read is. I am currently reading a book. And I'm trying to, this is part of my routine and my habits. I'm trying to read for 30 minutes at night. No, I lied. That isn't true. I'm not trying to read for 30 minutes a night. I think reading before bed has been helping me a lot. I'm trying to make sure I'm ready for bed, aka ready to sleep by like 10:30, which means I've ignored my phone for the last hour and I've been you know, trying to wind down. So reading at night has been helping me a lot, and this is the book I'm currently reading. It is a biography of Dr. Benjamin Rush, who is a historical figure that I don't think really many people even in America know. But he was a doctor who, he signed the Declaration of Independence. He was a doctor for the Continental Army and a lot of other things too, but he was like a really, he edited Common Sense. So he did a lot of you know, just interesting things, I guess, I suppose. But he's basically America, I mean, he's not America's first doctor. I'd be lying if I said that, but just a really fascinating person so far. I'm about halfway through. Yeah, I'm about halfway through. Like I said, reading before bed has made a huge difference, I've noticed, in my sleep quality. So that's been good. That's a habit that I'm enjoying, and I'm just gonna try and, at this point, getting through another 100 pages might not be very possible by the end of the week, but I think within the next couple of weeks I will have finished this book. So that's a good thing to think about. I don't have anything else to talk about because I didn't write down what I wanted to talk about. So, and that being said, my lunch break is almost over, I think. So I really should probably go, eat and maybe spend some time with my dog for about 15 minutes before I have to go back to work. So thank you again for taking the time to watch. If you made it to the end, I'm really impressed because this lack of structure is working as well for my podcast as it is for me in my real life. So I will hopefully see you again soon. Hopefully episode 20 is coming soon. I think episode 20 should be coming soon. Fingers crossed. Or, you know, not crossed. I should probably only cross fingers on one hand, I think, because if you cross them on both, don't you jinx it? I don't know. So anyway, I will see you again soon. Thank you for taking the time to watch again. And at some point in the future, it didn't take till episode 20, probably. But at some point, I am not going to be such a crazy, spasmodic person when I'm on camera. All right, I will talk to you later. And thank you for tuning in again, and enjoy your knitting. Have a nice day. Bye.